Hi guys, I am Nash and I'm back with another video for you, and for today's video, the DIY Queen is back. So for today's video guys, I'm going to show you how I did my bed sheets. You know me, if you know me, I don't like buying stuff. I don't like buying stuff na gawa na. Do you understand that? I love making things from scratch. I love creating things. So, for today's video, I made a bed sheet. And I hope that hindi kayo magulat sa sparkling light sa likuran ko. And I hope that you get inspired also to make your own stuff in this very, very, very this time that we have a lot of time and try to explore new things, create new things, find new hobbies, and I hope I inspire you to also do DIY stuff. And now, if you want to see how I did my whole bed, like whole bed talaga. I'm sorry, pag marunong ako magtahi ng kutsyon, gagawa din ako. But unfortunately, I have my own foam already. So I made this, everything from scratch, from tela, from yards of tela, using my ugly sewing machine. So if you guys are interested, then let's get into the tutorial video. Bye!
So for the first DIY, we are going to make the throw pillows. We are going to make 2 throw pillows, but with the same base because we are going to use same sizes of the pillows. So the first thing that you'll have to do is to measure the pillow that you're gonna need. Measure the length and the width, and when you cut the cloth, the fabric, you will not need to put any allowance, because if you wanna make it look plushy, don't put any allowance, just make it very exact. So now cut the cloth that you're gonna need. So once you have your desired size, fold it in half and try to measure it again so that you'll be sure if it will really fit, like super fit and snuggy to the pillow. To make it more presentable, hem the edges. So what I did here was to just fold it like 2 inches thick and do a straight stitch. Now when you're done stitching, do a straight stitch all around the edge to lock in the pillowcase. And when you're done, you can use it. And for additional design, this is optional, but if you want to add more designs, you could add a macrame tassel. Here is how I did the macrame tassel. I looped it with my guide, the iPhone, 4 times, and when I achieved the thickness I want, I just cut it and make sure that it's in the same length, and inserted a small string so that I could collect them all together and make a tassel out of it. So make sure that it's tight and secured. So now once the tassel is done, you need to separate the ends, cut the ends. And to make the tassel effect, you need to have a long thread that you're going to wrap around the top part of the tassel. That's just an effect to make it, the boho style that you want. So wrap it around, and how many times the thread could wrap, or how would you see fit for the tassel that will make it look enough, not too tight, not too, the number of the knots should look at least normal and presentable. And tie it and cut it with the same length so it would look like a tassel, not a trash. So once you're done, you can create 4 of them for all the corners. But this part is optional also. If you want to make it a little bit thick, you could separate the strings, because the string I use is a cotton cord. It's a macrame cotton cord. You could do that, separate it. If you're not using a macrame, then you cannot separate it. Now I separated 4 macrame tassels and we'll just attach it to all 4 corners because that's the boho design I want, like the basic boho lumbar pillow. So attach it. It's very easy to attach. Now for the other design, the second throw pillow, make small tassels from smaller strings and attach it in a pattern how you want it to look like. For the blanket piece, this is optional also because if you bought a fur blanket, you can not sew it. Actually, it will not run. But for me, I wanted to sew it. So just hem the edges also with this stitch that I'm doing. It's just over under stitch, but making sure that I put the thread over the needle so that it will be very secure. See the video how I put the thread over the needle. So for this giant pillowcase that I'm gonna make, this is very easy. Just cut the square of the fur fabric that you want and measure. Always when measuring, make it snuggy, don't put allowances. And proceed to sewing all sides. When using a fur fabric, make sure you put it to this setting. Lowest stitch, how do you say that? Lowest stitch tension and biggest stitch. And proceed to sewing all 3 sides. I left the last side open so that I could, remove it when doing the laundry. And for the last and final DIY of this video, the hardest part is making the bed sheet. So what I'm doing here is laying out the base because of course the fabric that we're gonna use is not as big as the bed. So the plan here is to attach the sides, the overlapping sides of the bed sheet. So what I'm doing here right now is cutting the overlapping sides. I'll make a diagram for you so it will be very easy, but at least I'm showing you how I cut and measured the 4 overlapping sides that would be attached to the base, the top part of the bed sheet, because we're not fortunate enough to get a big piece of fabric that we really have to sew 4 sides together. Because if you have a big piece of fabric, it's gonna be very easy for you. You could just put garter all around. But here, I'd be attaching 4 corners first, attaching it together and putting a garter. So this is basically going to be the pattern, just 4 strips and a 1 flat sheet. So just sew it all together with the sides and hem the sides. But make sure when hemming the sides, hem it a little big so that should insert a garter in it. Because if you don't insert a garter, the fitted sheet will move. But it's kind of optional if you're not into putting garters and it's kind of hard for you. You can opt to not do it, but the sheets will move. So if you can, make big hems and put a garter so that your fitted sheet will be staying there when you lie down.
Ayun guys, I hope you get inspired and you learn something from the video. Dalaglag. Filming this is very calming and very soothing for me because of the neutral colors, the earth tones. And as much as possible, I would like to conserve all the colors, the neutral colors sa aking room. And the only color that would really stand out will be the color of my plants and the color of my denim jeans and the color of my pambahays na nakakalap. Yeah. So, it's very easy. You can hand sew it actually. If you don't have sewing machine, you can hand sew it. So guys, if you're new here, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also tap the bell on so you get notified every time I post. And also please, if we aren't connected, follow me on all my social media accounts. It's at Queen Nash Rapi, Instagram and Twitter at Queen Nash Rapi. See you in my next video. Bye!